is Jets at Noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Yeah, coaching change, they've come in and obviously they've put a lot of emphasis on defending. I mean, they're 5-1-1 their last 7. I just looked at some of the teams they beat, some of the teams they played against. They were up 4-0 on Ottawa very quickly after the first. They could have been up. They're up 1-0 on LA. They could have been up 3 or 4. You know what? They're the buy-in right now. You really see it. They have everybody. They're not giving up odd man rushes. They're not letting you get into a track meet. They're doing a real good job, and they have some real good young talent that if you make mistakes, they can put pucks in the net. They can make it hard on you, and that's pretty much going to be my message tonight. Don't underestimate this team. This isn't the team that we've seen the last couple of years. This is a good, well-coached group that has bought in first to defending, and they clog up the middle of the ice. And like I talked about the other day when we talked about Utah and some of these other teams that are young and or have that sort of buy-in first to defend. You can't just play into what they're trying to do. You have to make sure that you make them work for every inch of ice.
That was head coach Scott Arniel. Winnipeg Jets, Chicago Blackhawks. Pregame gets going at 5. Play-by-play at 7 o'clock here on your radio home of the Winnipeg Jets, 680 CJOB. Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line. Win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program, which is coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. Jim Toth, how are you on this fine game day?
Cameron, I'm an 8 today.
That's good.
And it's a game day, so let's just get this out of the way. My plumber buddy / new friend, Sim, came by at 5. He was cleaned up and done by 6. And I got a good 7 hours.
Perfect. There's no 1:30
so by
nights,
tomorrow,
no 3:30 nights.
Free for all Friday, I'll be at 100%. But it's all done. Gave me a bit of a discount. And we're best friends.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I love to hear that kind of stuff.
I mean, you know better than anybody. You go through the wee hours of the morning with anyone for anything, you're closer.
It's true, yeah.
No matter what it is. Childbirth.
Can't get away from it.
War. Whatever you're involved in at all hours of the morning.
You become a band of brothers.
Partying. Whatever you do, you become a little closer. So thank you. I just want to get it out. We already got
road
text.
trips, too. If you go on road trips with your buddies,
drive through the night.
That's a big one, yeah.
You wake up. And you realize you're in a different state, and one of you should have stayed awake while driving, but you're closer. You're closer. But anyway, just get it out of the way. We got a game to talk about today, but yes, it's all done. I'm at an 8. I'll be at a 10 by tomorrow.
Perfect. No changes to the Winnipeg Jets line rushes. Connor Scheifele, Velarde, if need refreshing. Nemestikov, Toews, Iafallo, Niederreiter, Barron, Nyquist, Koepke, Ford, and Pearson. And then on defense, Morrissey, DeMello, Stanley, Pionk, and Fleury, and Shen Hellebuck is going to be your starting netminder. But here's the big news coming out of the morning skate today. This from Mitchell Clinton, radio color analyst here on 680 CJOB. You'll hear him during the pregame show later on today on 680 CJOB. He says, good morning. It looks like Dylan Samberg and Cole Perfetti will take part in the morning skate today in non-contact jerseys.
Good news.
They're out there with their teammates for early work with Eric Comrie. Here is an update from head coach Scott Arniel later on.
Yeah, Adams, it's getting real close here. Not in tonight, but it's getting a lot closer. The big thing is the banging and the crashing and doing stuff in numbers. We're trying to get them involved in a lot of stuff here. We'll get a practice in tomorrow, and then we'll see, kind of take it from there. The other two, that's the first time they get out with us. So they'll be a little bit longer down the line here, just not so much into the contact yet. So they're just obviously doing stuff at a higher pace with all the numbers with our guys, and they'll gradually, again, until those colors change on their jerseys. Right now, they're just trying to get themselves back up to speed.
So getting close. And there were some concerns, particularly around what is believed to be a high ankle sprain for Cole Perfetti, that he's sort of on the same sort of timeline with Dylan Samberg, who I think is probably about 3 weeks in, a little over 3 weeks.
Samberg?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was about this. It was a preseason game against Calgary. He broke his wrist.
Yeah.
I think there was a week left in preseason. So I think he's at the 4-week mark.
Yeah, he's getting close to it.
I got to look at the schedule, but it was a preseason game against Calgary at the beginning of the last week of training.
Yes,
camp.
it was the 27th. So we're over a month.
Yeah, so we're 4 weeks, and he was I think 4 to 6 or 6 to 8. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't emphasize this enough about Adam Lowry. This is fantastic news.
Yeah, there's a fear it's going to go into December or perhaps longer.
And they're bang on schedule. They said 10 games, could be up to 25. Could be back in the beginning of November or could be sometime at the end of December. And the idea that he's ready to go and needs some banging and crashing and all that, and it's not even November 1st yet, albeit in 2 days. Mm-hmm. This is good news for him. And then the other one's coming back. I went to the opener against Dallas, and I was told in the press box by somebody that is in the know that said that Cole Perfetti isn't week to week. He will be multiple weeks. But, not forever, but will be coming back in. So he's apparently that's true too, because we're a month into the season now. We're 10 games in, and so that's all good news. And Sandberg back. We had the text question yesterday. I think it's a free-for-all Friday question tomorrow, but one texter said when they're back, who comes out? And I think that's a fair discussion. But today we got a game. We can talk about the lineup and stuff.
We'll
but this is really, really good news. It could have been 2 more months.
Hey, here's Jonathan Toews on Perfetti, Sandberg, and Lowry getting closer.
I mean, you're asking a guy who, I just haven't been part of this team for very long. So already I feel like we got a lot of depth and a lot of great pieces up and down our lineup. And I almost forgot that, guys like Laus and Sammy and Fetz have been out of the lineup. And then the fact that they're coming in soon just adds so much more to what our group can do. So I'm sure those guys coming will give us a lot of confidence.
What is it?
It's not funny to him at all. It makes sense, but he's been here for a month and a half.
Yeah.
So he forgets that the captain of the team is not. And I know
he's not. Because he's listen, he's getting up to,
you see.
He's getting up to speed.
Yes.
He's getting ready to play the season. I'm sure it's a little bit more connected with,
Had he been here for 2 years, he'd be like, oh, Lowry's coming back and Sandberg and all that. Yeah. But he's in it. He's got a lot more on his plate than who else isn't, on the roster right now. He's got to acclimatize to the system. He's got to acclimatize back to the NHL game itself.
Yep.
He hasn't played it over 2.5 years. But I love that comment of, I almost forgot. There's a guy named Lowry coming back, and there's a guy named Perfetti and Fetz. He knows him enough that he uses the nicknames.
Yeah.
But when you're on the road and the season starts and playing every second day, a new guy would forget that, there's some other really good guys on this team.
And this is a big game for Jonathan Toews.
Yes.
I'm not certain. You know what this is? It's sort of a warm-up to January 19th when he's back at the United Center in Chicago. Right? This is sort of a first feel around. He's going to be playing against a jersey he wore for 15 seasons. And Toews was asked, the team is totally different, right? The team is completely different. So he was asked if all the players, different faces and all that, if he still feels connected to the club itself.
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess I don't think of it that way. Still got a couple good friends on the team and, the training staff and a lot of those guys are still there. But overall, I think there's still that connection to the organization and the city of Chicago, and I think there always will be. I think Chicago was my home for a long time, and it's days like this that you get to kind of stop for a second and reflect, look back, and I always said there's a lot of years in Chicago that felt like Groundhog's Day because it's like the same group of guys and the same coaching staff and a lot of the same continuity and. So you kind of start to think that things are never going to change, or at least you just assume that that's the way things are with every organization. And but then things change really fast, and here we are. So I've always said too, I'm very thankful for how things went in Chicago. It was definitely a dream, and I had some tougher years at the end of my time there that helped you kind of put things in perspective and make you realize that. The success we had is what everyone in the league is going after, and that's a really, really hard thing to do. And I think maybe when it happens early in your career, it's not that you take it for granted, but like I said, you just kind of assume this is normal on some level. But it's we'll always have a special connection to the people there and to the city of Chicago, and I'll be excited for this one tonight.
Yeah. Do we expect them to produce? Is it he's playing against the Blackhawks? He better get a couple of points at least.
Well, I clearly heard him say, I'm going to make those mother effers pay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming at them, and they better keep their, because I'm going to make them pay.
They better stay out of my way, or they'll pay.
They're going to feel the wrath.
Listen to what I say.
Hell hath no fury like a scorn, Jonathan. No, I mean, it's such a fascinating story, and this is a massive story in Chicago. Trust me. I think Mark Lazarus, the great writer for several publications, but he's covered the Blackhawks for decades, and is a great guy. He did a nice piece with Jonathan that he put out the other day. He's played 1,067 games for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah,
he reached 1,000.
When he goes into the Hall of Fame,
titles.
He's going to go in as a Blackhawk.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Well, it'd be ridiculous if he didn't.
But there's something to this too, Cam. Given all he's gone through, right? This isn't just Patrick Kane's on a new team. He's facing the Blackhawks for the first time. He was away from the game and all that, and all he's gone through, and things like that. There is a player the Jets acquired, I think, from Pittsburgh named Eric Tangradi. Tangradi.
Yeah, Eric Tangradi, yeah.
He had the line of because he got traded here, and I think he arrived and had a practice, and the next night they were playing the Penguins. And he had a great line, and he said, yeah, it's kind of like breaking up with your girlfriend and then going to the bar that night and she's there. Like, it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're in a relationship and it ends, and then you're like, oh, now I got to... To use that great Eric Tangradi line from years ago, this might be like Jonathan Toews had a good marriage. It lasted for over a decade. They just grew apart and through no ill will separated and went their separate ways. And then, 3 years later, you get jobs at the same office.
He gets invited to the wedding.
Yeah.
He gets invited to her wedding.
That is weird. Like, Maurice dropped that line where you get invited to your ex's-wife's wedding.
Okay, this isn't weird, I don't think. I think
but
you're
this
right,
is like, so then all of a sudden, a couple of years after your divorce, you work in the same building or something.
Yeah.
Like, I would think that we know him. He's so super focused. He's so dialed in. It'll be about the game and stuff. You're right. When he retires, it'll be a Blackhawks that goes in the Hall of Fame, and he'll look back and falling. I don't think he's doing that night, but he's, this is the first time he's ever played against them. So I get why it's more of a story in Chicago than here. I agree with you. I think it's a bigger deal when they go and play in Chicago, but that's kind of what I kind of judge him to. It'll be weird for him to. I think it's weird for him to be back. I think it's weird for him to be in the game, but not weird that it affects him or anything. But I think it'll be weird for him to go into a face-off circle against the Blackhawks jersey, at least the first time.
Yeah, I think so. 204-780-6868. Call the Boston Pizza Jets and Noon hotline, open 24/7. 204-780-6800. Boston Pizza, coming for lunch every day to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15 only at BP. The number one caller will be awarded a $50 gift card to Boston Pizza tomorrow. Still to come on the show. Jim, there's the Mavericks are suing the Stars.
Dallas Mavericks?
Yes.
Shoot.
They share the American Airlines Center.
Uh-oh.
They're suing them.
Speaking about divorces, you got to get along in the same house.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They've been sharing a facility since 2001. I'll tell you exactly what's going on there.
Dallas leave the toilet seat up?
Yeah, we'll also hear there's actually some wild similarities between Chicago and Winnipeg this early into the season.
Stars mess with the thermometer, the furnace, the temperature.
Yeah, there's some similarities between the Blackhawks and Winnipeg. I'll tell you exactly what those similarities are. And the Leafs, they ain't that good, Jim Toth. We'll discuss that after this.
Why are you smiling?
I don't know. It just hurts.
I bet you the Stars left the garage door open. No, the Stars came upstairs and left the lights on in the basement all night. Who's heating this backyard? Said the Mavericks.
At noon with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
So we ran out of time here. We'll talk the Leafs when we come back on the other side. And they had a 6-3 loss to Columbus, squandering Jonathan Toews' celebration for a 500th career goal, which is quite a feat. But we'll come back to it on the other side, and we'll dig into this Leafs situation, and then we'll get back.
It's sad.
It is sad.
Congratulations, Jonathan. Man, did we get worked.
And then we'll get back to some game day, and I'll tell you all about the similarities between Chicago and Winnipeg.
Breaking news out of Colorado
right
next, too.
Okay.
Breaking news out of Colorado.
Going on the road, obviously, it'll be a tough trip in Western Canada. There's a lot of good hockey teams. It's harder to win on the road in this league.
That's head coach Jeff Blashill leading into tonight's game. Chicago Blackhawks Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line to win a VIP car wash from my good friends at Wash Method. 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program, which is coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for Gourmet Pizza and Pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. Okay, so real quick, I want to squeeze in the Leafs talk, and then we'll get back to, we'll hear some comments from Blas, so we'll hear some comments from Connor Bedard as well, and some similarities between the Jets and the Blackhawks. There's actually quite a few that we'll get to in just a second here. But the Leafs lost 6-3 to Columbus, squandering John Tavares' celebration for scoring his 500th goal, which was a meaningless goal in the game, by the way. I think it was
got worked.
I think it was 5-1 at that point by then. The Leafs right now are out of a playoff spot. They're 5-5-1. It's early on, of course. Here you go, Jim. This is cause for celebration. The Leafs are the second best team 5-on-5 in scoring. Wow, that sounds great. But then you find out that they're absolutely dead last in the league in 5-on-5 goals against. They're coughing up way too many defensive zone chances. They're giving way too much up. They can't defend the rush.
They're not very good defensively.
Yeah. I mean, if you're dead last in the league in 5-on-5 goals against, your defensive structure is weak and you can't defend the rush. And those are dangerous things. How do you expect to even get into the playoffs or win a playoff series when you can't do those two things? Also, the power play stinks. They're 29th in the league at 13.8%. PK is okay. You know, it's average 83.3% right now. But I mean, what are your thoughts on the Leafs?
Well, one of my thoughts the last 10 years. They don't invest in defense. And they don't have, I mean, they have with Chris Tanev. They locked up Morgan Riley and stuff, but I just think they don't have the depth in the forward core that they need because of the cap and what they've done previous years in my mind. Do you think Mitch Marner's sitting in Vegas and just going, hey, just wanted to catch up. How you guys doing? It's been a couple weeks. And I'm being facetious, right?
I think he's got buddies on the team, and he's
trying to be funny.
Yeah, I think he's got buddies on the team, and he's just saying, I'm not touching anything. And
no, he's more than happy because
I'll keep feeding Eichel.
This would, and Marner's not without some blame, but this would all be laid at his feet right now.
Absolutely.
And it's not his fault. They're not deep enough team in the things that make you a deep team, like the Jets, like maybe even the Blackhawks coming in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're not locked and loaded with talent, but they have some depth. They've added some depth, and they're playing good hockey. Now, they're not a deep team like deep teams in the NHL. Don't get me wrong about Chicago, but I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of Leafs this year. Sorry, I've watched maybe a period, and then I catch their highlights. But it just seems Craig Berube is unhappy with the style they're playing, the non-defensive play, the turnovers. There was a couple turnovers where I think he threw the iPad or wanted to throw the iPad. He said the other night, it keeps happening, and I'm tired of it, or I'm paraphrasing that. So I don't think they're a deep enough team. And, Scott Lawton's out. They made a trade for him at the deadline. He's a solid defensive player. Things like that'll help.
Chris Tanev has been having some injury issues.
Chris Tanev's injured again and stuff. So. But it's 10 games in. It's not a good start for them with the amount of talent they do have. And again, Tavares just keeps trucking along, right?
Yeah.
How many points does he have?
He's got 14 points.
14 points.
Yeah, no, and he's
more than a point per game player again.
Austin Matthews has 8 points. He's got 5 goals. Like, he's going to start putting it in the net again here. But
he's going to find out without Marner that this is laid at your feet. Yeah. And the best way you do that in Toronto is to play exceptionally well.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, too.
Even if he's good, Cam, that's not going to be good enough. You have to have an exceptional year this year if you're Austin Matthews.
Many people who have Winnipeg on their no-trade list, Toronto's on that list for many teams. People just don't want to deal with this sort of thing. The added scrutiny and it's the fishbowl.
They offered Mikko Rantanen more money to compensate for the taxes and everything. I think it was 13-something compared to the 12.5, and it was to offset what he would be getting in a tax-free state like Texas. And he still chose Dallas. But that, to me, is a hockey decision. I look at Dallas lineup, and I'm like, I want to be a part of this. Yeah. I look at Toronto's lineup, and I'm like, well, do you want the money and then to go? They're not a deep team. They're not defensively sound, and I would think that hockey-wise, you found a better option. Speaking of that, the breaking news out of Colorado is Martin Necas has signed an extension. It's worth $92 million. It is the 8 years you were talking about, 8 years of stability while you still can, and it comes with an AAV of $11.5 million. And for those of you wondering, that's $500K less per year than Mikko Rantanen signed for in Dallas. I don't think this will ever go away. Mikko Rantanen, as good as Natchez is, and as many points as he will pour in playing on a line with Nathan McKinnon and on that power play with Cale Makar, Rantanen's the better player.
Yeah.
And over $500,000 per year. And again, we often blame teams in this, and I get that. I can't get over the fact that Rantanen did this song and dance to not stay on a line with Nathan McKinnon and play your whole career there. Go to Carolina, get these offers from Toronto, choose Dallas, go to Dallas, sign there. Because it's just not about, it didn't happen in the fashion of, actually, I want to live in Dallas. It happened that way after the trade, and I got to get out of here. I don't like it here. I'm not signing here. So I got to pick, and Toronto's offering, and so-and-so is offering, and Dallas is offering. Good for the Avalanche for getting Natchez locked up. Good for Natchez for wanting to play the next 8 years with Nathan McKinnon and on that power play. But I will never get over the fact that this is a relationship that got too far out of hand and should have never gotten out of hand over $500,000 per year.
Mr. Chance, get your thoughts on the show today. Call the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Boston Pizza coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Got a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15, only at BP. We'll give away that $50 gift card to Boston Pizza tomorrow. And I'll say we've got some great calls, but I think that there's still a winner out there. So call the line, 204-780-6800, and we'll give you a $50 gift card if you're picked to get that Boston Pizza gift card. The Winnipeg Jets and the Chicago Blackhawks have some similarities here, Jim. Here's head coach Jeff Blashill talking about one of them, and it has to do with second periods. Right now, the Chicago Blackhawks are -7 in goal differential over their last 5 games, with 9 goals against and 2 goals for over their second periods. Here's head coach Jeff Blashill on what's going on in the second period.
Is there a common theme to these second periods?
Oh, that's a really good question. We just talked about it. As a staff, we got to kind of do a deep dive and see why we struggle in the second. It seems like we get hemmed in more on our end in the second than we do in the first and third. And if I had the answer, we'd have it fixed. You know how that goes. For whatever reason, we don't seem to break the puck out as well out of D-zone coverage specifically, and then we just get hemmed in for way too long. So it's something we got to look at, something we got to make sure that we try to figure out and get an answer for.
The Winnipeg Jets have a -42 shot differential in the second period. Chicago's is only a -18. A -42 shot differential in the second period. The Jets have a -1 goal differential over the second period, which is not reflective of that massive -42 this early in the season. My goodness. And Chicago is at a -2 goal differential here. So Chicago dealing with in a very similar similarities there, and what's been a struggle as well.
Yeah, and
D-zone breakouts.
And what he said there is what Arneal has said. Like Arneal's never said this specifically, but same context. If we could figure it out, we would. Arneal's more of we should have figured this out by now.
Two teams in different stages.
Yeah, and that's why tonight's game is fascinating, because one of these two teams has to win the second period. One of these two teams will be better than the other in the second period, but which one will it be?
25 goals against. Both teams are tied for the lead in the Western Conference in goals against with only 25, and tied for third in the NHL right now. So they have almost scored the exact same amount of goals. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Winnipeg has scored 34 goals and Chicago has scored 33. So the offense and the defense is very, very similar.
Yeah.
So there's another similarity. Also, here's another one. Head coach Jeff Blashill is talking about the PK. They're coming off. Connor Bedard had a 4-point night, first career hat trick. Yeah. But the power penalty kill went 4 for 4. Here's Jeff Blashill on the PK.
You obviously don't want to have penalties, but your penalty kill has been really good all season. Is there like a sense of comfort that you have when you go on that penalty kill with that?
No. But I will say this, like, I thought early in the year it wasn't great, but we kind of got away with some. I think it's been much better. Like, I thought tonight it was actually pretty good. So, and we did a little bit better job at not taking penalties tonight. We need to continue to do a better job not taking penalties. But certainly, the kill, I think our guys are gaining confidence in it, so that's a positive factor for sure, and just continue to gain confidence matters a ton, and whether it's special teams or individual players, and so good for our kill.
So Chicago's penalty kill right now is 8th in the league at 86.4%. Winnipeg's is 2nd at 90.5%. The Chicago Power penalty kill has gone 100% over the last 3 games. Here's another similarity. So fairly similar penalty kills. Here's another similarity. Both teams, as you just heard from Blashill, are taking way too many penalties. Chicago is 2nd right now in the entire league when it comes to penalty minutes per game at 13.2, 55 total penalties taken over their first 10 games. And over Winnipeg's 10 games, they're 4th in the league, and they're averaging 12.4 penalty minutes, which is 4th in the league, 52 total. So teams that are spending way too much time in the box, and it's probably slowing down their offense. It might be something also that's leading to sort of this struggle in the second period.
Yeah, the one thing, you're right, this is eerily similar to the Jets for sure, and they got a lot of comparables. The one thing is I just think the Jets are a better team.
Well, without a doubt. I'm just saying, early on,
but
10 games
playing,
in.
Yeah, they're having the same issues, and they're having the same success.
Correct, yeah.
But this is a better team, right? Like, the thing about the Blackhawks is in Bedard's rookie year, I'm like, well, this team's only going to get better. And then they signed some guys or traded like Teuvo Teravainen and stuff like that came in, Tyler Bertuzzi, and I'm like, well, these guys are going to help him. Mm-hmm. And they just didn't. Like, that team was worse than his rookie year last year.
Corey Perry.
Now, yeah, well, that went. Now I think that like they've got a better feel for what they need to do, and they're playing better, which is helping the team. And it's not all about Bedard, but I'll tell you what, this Frank Nazar, I always mess this up because he's one of my son's favorite players now. He's all in on that.
I need to talk to your son about some stuff.
Yeah, well, he's all over the map.
He's all over the map.
Yeah,
he needs to pick a team and then live in the hell of being the fan of a sports team and live through the mostly misery.
I don't know why.
He can't just pick all these teams all over the places. It's just not.
I don't know why he doesn't want to walk through hell with me. I would do it for him.
Yeah.
He has a Flames Goudreau.
Yeah.
And then now he's got a Bedard
Blackhawks. I don't know. It's just
and now he wants, the number of jerseys that are different teams. I'm just like, this is the traveling Wilburys here, son. You got to pick a team and walk through hell.
That's right.
I gave him a Khalil Mack Bears jersey.
Frank Nazar.
Nazar, thank you. Because I always make fun of him with my son. That's why I get the name. Frank Nazar. Anyways, it's Frank Nazar. He's the real deal. Like, this is really going to help Bedard, and that's their 1-2 center combination. And I think Nazar is as good as he is and deserving every point he's gotten this year. I think it helps that Bedard is, there. Yeah. And he's helping each other. So I think that's going to help. Jason Dixon's a good center. I've always liked him, but they're just not as deep and everything like that. But I think this is a team that's on the and Blashill is good for him, right? Because this guy's, speaking of walking through hell, he went through those Detroit years.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man.
Where they just couldn't figure it out. And he was a really, really high-end AHL coach and had a lot of teams after him.
Well, without a doubt. He was highly touted.
How long did he do in Detroit where they just couldn't get now, I'm not talking about move the rock like
I think he's
Paul Maurice once said about
I've always thought
team.
Blasill's, even during his time in Detroit, I always thought he was a great coach.
I always think that. The reason he is because the minute he was out of work in Detroit, John Cooper in Tampa Bay went and grabbed him.
Yeah.
And so that just speaks to that. But he was in Grand Rapids from 2012-13 for 3 years to 2014-15. Then he was the head coach in Detroit for 7 seasons.
Yeah.
They lost in the first round when he was a rookie head coach. They were 41-30. And then just out of the playoffs for the next 6 years.
You know what it is, Jim? It's just too much losing.
You
need a change on the bench. It's
he's
just
not
too
a bad
much
coach.
Losing. No.
It's just they couldn't figure it out in Detroit for years. They still can't to a certain point.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'm happy for him that I think and I thought Luke Richardson was in the same boat but with the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks are going on this train. And what killed Richardson there, who's also a great coach, was that he had that first year with Bedard was okay. and then they got way worse. And that killed Richardson, right?
Yeah.
So you can be terrible and just stay terrible and then slowly get better. You can't be terrible, get worse, and then you'll get gassed. So there's two names there that I really like as coaches, and I know Richardson's an assistant now, but really happy for Jay that he got this opportunity with Chicago, and he's got him off to a 5-3-0 start.
204-780-6868. Let's take a break. Let's come back on the other side. The Dallas Mavericks are suing the Dallas Stars over control of the American Airlines Center in Dallas.
Left the car on E. Came home from golf and it's on E. You can't do that, Stars.
So they've shared this facility since 2001, and now it's, he didn't pick up my granola. Every day, he made sure my granola was filled up in that cupboard. And all of a sudden, I don't know, there's no granola anymore. I took out the bag. I was just saying, like, why aren't you going and buying my granola?
The Stars.
That's when I knew it was over, Jim.
The Mavs know when the orthodontist meeting is, or appointment. Why don't the Stars? Because they don't care enough.
We'll be right back.
Toth on 680 CJOB.
Thank you very much to our VIP texter winning the VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method. No name attached to this text, but it says, Jim, in honor of the Blackhawks playing tonight, can we please get a caw for old time's sake?
Caw! Caw!
There you go. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Caw!
Caw!
Caw! Caw came from, I went to a frat party at the University of Calgary, and there was thousands of people there.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't living in Calgary. I was just going with my buddy, and we had a couple buddies, and there's about 5 of us. And we had gone to Electric Ave back in the Stampede days.
Yeah.
And we ended up at this frat house because our one buddy went to, and there was like, this wasn't a frat house. This was like a frat lodge. It was massive. And we're like, what if we get separated? What if, I'm like, well, we'll caca. And sure enough, like you'd be in a room with 300 people and you'd be like trying to make your way out of the kitchen. And you're like, caca. And then in the base down the stairwell.
You're just hoping nobody of the opposite sex saw you doing that.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was a mating call. I don't know. But sure enough, down the stairwell, you heard a caca. And out the window at the garage, you heard caca. And then you knew where everybody was.
So the Dallas Mavericks are suing the Stars over American Airlines Center control. The two teams have shared the AAC since 2001. Each owns half of the companies that run the arena, splitting revenues from concerts, games, and events. The Mavericks say the breach has allowed them to buy the Stars out last October, making the Mavs the sole owner of the arena companies. The city of Dallas owns the arena. So the Mavericks are not happy. They say the team took steps to enforce the contract last October. The Mavs say the Stars backed out of needed renovations at the arena. The Mavs now are after the Stars. The Stars have refused to acknowledge the change in control. And the city of Dallas is backing them.
Backing the Mavs.
Yeah. It's sort of like inside baseball stuff, but like an NHL team being sued by an NBA team, and the city of Dallas is like, no, we got the Mavs back. See you later, Stars.
Jerry Jones is loving it. He loves drama.
Yeah. So
I got to do something with my football team to add to the drama.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and I don't know what has led up to this, but like you have to still share this facility.
Yes.
You're going to have to see each other all the time.
And I would presume there's some offices shared. Like,
yeah, this is obviously going to get ugly. Anyways.
It is. It's a fascinating find by you because I'm really intrigued by how this goes. And I'm sure a lot of pro teams in other cities are watching this.
Big time. Jim Toews, take you all the way to 2 o'clock. Thank you very much, Jeffrey Forte, for producing the show. That's it for me. Back same time tomorrow. See ya.